What if a tsunami hits? What if an earthquake hits? What if a hurricane hits? What if a fire breaks out? The concept of school safety seeks to place staff and students of school facilities in the safe zone, out of harm's way, protected and secure. On paper, safety plans sound workable, attainable, and perhaps in some cases even simple. But practical application is the best way to convey the information to those whose responsibility it is to follow through. The UNESCO-funded School Safety Program of the Ministry of Education is taking its safety program to another level with ongoing training for teachers. In this program, teachers put down their work plans and pick up fire extinguishers, the tools that make school safety a reality.
We did a fire drill at the end of the workshop after learning how to actually use the fire extinguisher. A fire drill was done on the outside where we had fire light in 2 different places, and then the participants were asked to use the extinguisher to actually extinguish fire. We have also learned the procedure in which to actually use the fire extinguisher by first taking the extinguisher up, pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze and sweep. And those are the actually principles in which the fire extinguisher work. We also learn how to actually look at our fire extinguisher and to ensure that the fire extinguisher is filled with whatever solution should be inside the extinguisher. So we learn to actually look at our gauge and know when it is full, when it is empty, and when it is over full. All right. We also learn a whole heap a lot in, for example, on our household, what to look for in our household and what are the causes of the different fire in the household and what are the most hazardous and poisonous substances in the household. For example, we look at fire cause, electrical fire, and what we must do, and things like the material where computers are made from, as apart from your clothing, the different metals and so that is that's inside your house, and how to actually deal with such fire. Right? In all of that still, that does not eliminate the fire department. So in all fires, at the end of the workshop, as we are told, no matter the magnitude of the fire, the type of fire, even that you feel that you extinguish the fire, you actually call the fire department first, because there are some substances still can be burning beneath what you have extinguished. And so this workshop bring an awareness of how to deal with fire, how to prevent fire in the event that fire occur at our school.
School safety is very, very important. If you read the literature, you will see quite a lot written on school safety. In light of the fact that you hear so much about global warming, and you hear about we know that in the Caribbean we are prone to hurricanes and storms during the summer months. It has extended way down now to November, I think. But there are other things that the literature is saying that you have to look for, because children are supposed to be safe when they come to school. They're supposed to feel safe, and we are supposed to put things in place to ensure that they are safe. And the literature is talking about how schools can make children feel safe. And when we think about some of the communities our children live in, some of our children have experienced shooting and killings in their communities. It's very, very important that when they come to school, it must be a safe place for them. And we as administrators, we have to make sure that it is safe. And I think that is one of the reasons why you were asked to write school safety plans, to ensure that you provide this safety in spite of whatever is happening, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's an earthquake. You as administrators have to make sure that our students are safe, that they get out safely, and we are able to return them to their homes on a daily basis, just the way they came from home. So it's very, very important that we focus on school safety. And we are hoping that after today, the schools will have ongoing training for teachers and students, that you would organize drills so students know what to happen if there is an emergency. They know where they're to go, how they are supposed to get out. So we are expecting that this will be ongoing. We are also expecting that when we provide the equipment for school safety, that maintenance will take place if necessary. Measures will be taken to make sure that the things are there when needed, because we have some concerns about the inventory in our schools. We want to make sure that when we give out things, that they are used for the purpose they're supposed to be used, and we can account for them. So we are hoping that all this would come out of the project. Today, on behalf of the ministry, I want to thank UNESCO for answering the call and for partnering with us in this important undertaking, ensuring that our schools are safe. They provided funding, and the funding was used to train teachers, to train principals, to provide equipment. And as I said, we are hoping that it will extend beyond today to ongoing training in our schools, so that all of us can respond if there is an emergency. We pray that we won't have an emergency, but if we do, that we'll all be ready. So I want to say, make sure we make good use of the equipment you have been given. I also would like to thank Mr. Michael Blake for his hard work on this project and for all that he has accomplished. I hope that we leave here today and we would all feel satisfied with what we received from this UNESCO project on school safety.
A study conducted by UNESCO just recently revealed that in 2001 alone, over 300 hazards resulted in disasters that claimed almost 30,000 lives, affected 206 million people, and inflicted damages worth an estimated almost $400 billion US. The publication by UNESCO further stated that in the event of a disaster, children are mostly affected. Schooling systems are disrupted, therefore affecting the fundamental right of the children, that is, the right to education. If we are not prepared for these unforeseen circumstances, therefore, developmental gains in education will be reversed, with the damage or destruction of school facilities, the prolonged disruption of education, limited access to schooling, and resulting in a decrease in education quality. This particular project, hopefully, with all of its different components, will effectively reduce disaster risks for our school infrastructure and for our school children. We also hope that this process might lead to the integration of disaster risk reduction into our own curricula here on St. Kitts and Nevis.
The Ministry of Education is truly rather pleased for the school safety program and its arrival in this juncture of our operation. The point has been well made that school safety is a critical and promising component of our general education thrust. It is well documented that in these special times, quality education must of necessity include safety of schools, physical premises, staff, and students. Since no real teaching or learning, or far less quality teaching and learning, can occur in an atmosphere or condition of fear, disorder, and insecurity. Such safety, however, must be concrete, tangible, and palpable. Teachers, students, and parents must see, hear, and feel various elements of safety. For example, they cannot be expected to accept that mere verbal words that the teachers are safe or that the students are safe from any threat or incidents. But they must see and feel those items that will secure safety: the fire escape routes, the fire extinguishers, the flashlights, and such like. Nor can they rest content that any occurrence or slight or severe injury will be addressed unless there are first aid kits. And so, the visible presence of safety enhancing and safety promoting equipment, tools, and instruments are indispensable. Students also learn better and more and are apt to depot safety promoting equipment, tools, and instruments when they see these. Procuring relevant safety equipment, such as these that are here on display, is accordingly a very important element of any school safety program. Many thanks are therefore due and extended to UNESCO via its local commission here and its very able Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Maynard, for accepting to fund the acquisition of these equipment. UNESCO has proven to be a very useful and reliable partner of the ministry in taking this program forward. I urge schools, their principals, teachers, and students to take proper care of the various pieces of equipment with which you will be issued. Remember, their judicious use now and in the future conduces to a facility that is safe and secure.
The School Safety Council really is that body that is responsible for overseeing the welfare of our children in every school. And whether it's in the Sadler's School or the Keon, Beach Allen, for us, no student is to be left behind in terms of the safety that is provided by every individual school. Today, as we launch the launch and receive the items that have been generously donated by UNESCO. There are three things that are most important to us as a school safety council. These are the responsibility of the headmasters and the teachers, the authority that is vested in them, and certainly for me personally is the accountability that we must ensure that we are able to maintain the equipment and to ensure that the students are being continually cared for. One of the things that I would like to see implemented certainly is a preventative maintenance schedule, so that we don't have the equipment sitting by uncared for, and in the time of demand they are unserviceable. The School Safety Council can assist in this request, or in this regard, as they are members of the team, in particular Everett Agaro from the Fire and Rescue Department, Mr. Livingston Pemberton of the Public Works Department, Mrs. Kerry Green of the St. Kitts Red Cross, and myself as the Defense Force, as representative of the Defense Force, are quite capable of assisting you in developing a preventative maintenance system to ensure that the equipment is in a state of good repair. At the core of our education system, as it relates specifically to the School Safety Council, is that we must be able at every juncture to ensure that whenever a drill is called or a live event is in play, that the students are well aware of the path to safety, that the teachers and the head teachers are also aware of every plan. So the School Safety Council really is desirous of ensuring that drills are conducted in every school on a frequent enough basis to ensure that there is turnover of staff, that each staff member is well aware of that plan.
This morning we are here for the launch of the school safety program. It is something that is long overdue, and we are happy that it is now off the ground. We are grateful to UNESCO through its representative here, and Mr. Antonio Maynard, and the wheel behind the whole idea, Mr. Blake, Senior Education Officer. There are many items there that we can use to enhance our safety at school, knowing that our area is smack in the area where we can have several disasters. St. Kitts does have a volcano, so we can have an eruption. We are a small island, therefore we can also have be exposed to tsunamis, because we are also along the earthquake belt. And of course, we are prone to hurricanes. Schools suffer much disaster over the years. So here we are this morning, seeing that items will be purchased for schools to use, so that the children can feel safer, as well as the workers on the school compound can feel much safer, knowing that we have these equipment to help us, to alert us of what's going on, and much more to make us feel much more comfortable and safe. Not that disasters can't occur, but it will minimize what could happen if we don't have those particular items. Bearing in mind, just across from us, Haiti, many children lost their lives because they were not prepared. So each school has a management plan for disaster, and now we are having the equipment, thanks to the Ministry of Education through Mr. Blake and UNESCO through Mr. Maynard, for these items that are here on display and will be distributed to the schools in a little while from now.
Students cannot only hide in them, but I understand in some schools